Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Liaquat. Welcome to this video. We are going through Surah al-Qasas. Right, so first of all, try to figure out the meaning of these words. Now, a lot of these words you guys should know by now. Right, so I'm going to leave them words for you guys to put in the comments, or you can figure them out for yourselves. Zina actually means adornment. Zinatihi, adornment. Alright, so Qarun, you know that Dhu Hadhin means portion or share. Portion or share. Alright, so let's look at the tarkeeb then. So fa here is ataf onto what came before. Kharaja is going to be the fi'l and the fa'il as well. It goes back to Qarun. Ala is jar and qawmihi is mudaf plus the mudaf ilayhi. Both of them put together become the majroor. And jar and majroor, either it's muta'alliq to kharaja, right, or there's going to be another hidden fi'l, and I'll show you that in a bit. So fi is a jar, and zinatihi is going to be mudaf ilayhi, and then all that put together is going to be majroor of fi, and fi here is muta'alliq to, again, there's two possibilities. First possibility of ala qawmi is kharaja ala qawmihi. Alright, so he came out, he exited, he came out ala qawmi, on top of his people, over his people. That's one possibility of it. The other possibility is if we say there's a hidden verb. So some have said there's a hidden verb, although some don't agree with this idea, but we can say there's possibly some hidden verb here. So kharaja, he exited and he showed off, right, over his people. Yeah, mufakhir or fakhara. Yeah, I think fakhara would be better. So fakhara yatafakharu ala qawmihi, showing off to his people, basically being proud. So kharaja, he exited over his people, or he exited showing off to his people. And showed off. Fi qawmihi. So fi zinatihi rather. Fi zinatihi, this is jar majroor. Now this either is going to be muta'alliq to kharaja. So kharaja fi zinatihi. Alright, so that's one possibility. And the other possibility is fi is muta'alliq to thabitan, which becomes the hal then. Right, whilst. Yeah, so it's like kharaja ala qawmihi whilst he was in his zina. Whilst he was in his, all his, adornment. Okay, so those are the possibilities there. This is going to be hal then, and the other one's not going to be a hal. If fi is muta'alliq to kharaja, it's not going to be a hal, right? So kharaja fi. Hal sounds more better. Hal is the more common one that people would understand. Anyway, this is jumla fi'liya khabariya at the end of the day, right? Qala is fi'l, and then alladhina is mawsool. And yuriduna is fi'l plus the fa'il, and the fa'il is actually them, the people, right? So fa'il is them, the people. Al-hayat ad-dunya is mawsoof and sifa, mawsoof and sifa, and then mawsoof and sifa put together is going to become maf'ul bihi, right? So yuridun al-hayat ad-dunya, they wanting the worldly life. All of that becomes the jumla fi'liya khabariya and becomes a sila of alladhina, and then alladhina plus the all that is going to become the fa'il of qala. Ya is either this is harf nida or it's what we call harf tanbih. Now this is an ikhtilaf amongst the scholars regarding how do we deal with this ya before later. Some argue that it's a ya nida and the munada is actually hidden, right? So it's like ya ayyuhan nas later lana. And others say no, it's not nida, because nida needs a munada, and why do you need to have a munada hidden or assumed? They say just call it ya tanbih. Tanbih is like making people aware of something, like attention, right? Or everyone listen. It's like one of those kind of ones, right? So ya layta lana, so nida or tanbih. So if it's nida, you're going to have something like ya ayyuhan nas hidden, right? Anything which is going to be appropriate for that, basically. All right. And tanbih, those who say, that no, it's not nida, it's actually making aware. Right. So later is harf mushabbah al-fil, inna, anna, ka'anna, lakinna, layta, la'alla, requires a ism and requires a khabar. So the ism is going to be the mithal, and lana is going to be the jar majroor muta'alliq to thabitun, which will be the khabar. Alright, so this is going to be the khabar of later. And lana jar majroor, right, muta'alliq to thabitun. Mithal is mudaf, and then ma utiya is going to be the mudaf ilayhi. Right, so mithal is mansoob because it's the ism of later. Ma is going to be the mawsool, and utiya is going to be fi'l plus and qarun naib fa'il, because fi'l majhul, and then all that put together becomes the jumla fi'liya khabariya and sila, and then that becomes the mudaf ilayhi of mithal, mudaf ilayhi becomes ism of later, and there you have a sentence. Right, so all the sentence later, lana, mithla, ma, utiya, qarun is all going to be treated as a jumla ismiya khabariya. Actually, no, it's not khabar, is it? It's later. So later would be meaning of tamanni. So we're going to make it into an ismiya. Ismiya insha'iyya. Insha'iyya. Excellent. J-I-I. Okay, right. Innahu, inna, harf mushabbah bil fi'l, who is the ism, and dhu, and lam is ta'keed, right? So lam muzahlaqa, ta'keed. Dhu is going to be the mudaf. By the way, put in the comments if you know what family the word dhu belongs to. Put it, and what are the other members of that family. Dhu, don't say zoo. Don't say it belongs to the zoo family. Zookeeper. Okay, Hazin is the mawsoof, and Azim is sifa. Mawsoof plus the sifa put together is going to become the majroor, and majroor, and that becomes mudaf ilayhi of the mudaf, and that's khabar of inna. You have it. So all these, there's four sentences, four isn't it? Yeah, four sentences here, right? Main ones. Well, there's five really if you think about utiya qarun. Just say there's four, right? All of these are la mahalla min i'rab. La mahalla min al-i'rab. So you put la there, put another la there, right? Put la there, and put la there. Right? So all these are la mahalla. Now let's do a little bit of sarf. So dunya is what we call ism tafdeel mu'annath. Right? So ism tafdeel in Arabic comes on two patterns normally, right? For mujarrads, thulathi mujarrads. So the masculine, it comes on the pattern of af'alu, and the feminine comes on the pattern of fu'la. Right? So the masculine is af'alu, and the feminine is fu'la with an alif at the end. Fu'la. Right, so af'alu and fu'la. So af'alu, like for example, you guys know akbar, Allahu akbar, akbaru, right? So that's masculine, and the feminine is kubra, fu'la. Yeah, kubra. Now dunya, the masculine of dunya is actually adna. Adna. It means like the closest. Adna. And dunya is the closest as well, but the feminine version. Now, when do you use the feminine? You use the feminine only when you're going to have the ism tafdeel as a sifa of a feminine word. So here, for example, like you got hayat. So because you got hayat and you want to bring a sifa of hayat, then you have to bring the feminine version. Otherwise, everywhere else in Arabic, you would always use the masculine version. Always. Like for example, Zainab akbar min Fatima. Zainab is greater than, bigger than Fatima. You don't say Zainab kubra min Fatima. Right? So, unless you want to say something like Fatimatul kubra, the bigger Fatima. That's where you're using it as a sifa. So, that's just the rule to remember. Ism tafdeel, if it's been used as a sifa for a feminine, use the feminine version. And everywhere else, masculine. Alright, so that's that. I think, yeah. So here, this is why the hayat ad-dunya is described as dunya, because the life, like the hayat, the life that we have, there's different versions of life. And the version that we're living in today is known as the hayat ad-dunya. This is the dunya hayat, the closest hayat. Right, so a hayat ad-dunya. Compared to the akhirah, basically. Okay, let's do translation now. So therefore, kharaja, he left. Ala, right? So on literally means on, but I'll explain a bit later how we understand it. Qawmihi, his people, right? His qawm, his people. Kharaja ala qawmihi. So ala would mean publicly. He came out publicly. Ala qawmihi, they say. Now this is if you take it as kharaja ala qawmihi. If you take it the ala muta'alliq to kharaja. Some have said that this ala gives it the meaning of ta'diyah. Yeah, but anyway, so ala qawmihi, kharaja ala qawmihi, meaning that he came out, and the way that he came out was he came out publicly, like it was like a public an entrance, like in English we say entrance, but exit, you know, whatever you want to call it. So publicly he comes out, right, where there's a public gathering and he comes out like on a stage or something. Fi zinatihi, in his adornment, right? So his adornment in Arabic, basically, if he just said in adornment, not his, it would have meant he came out in some flashy clothes and some flashy, you know, transport and flashy, entourage, right? So this is if it was just zina, but when he says zinatihi, that's more specific. That means he came out with all of his beauty. Like he deliberately got the best of everything that he had, that to show off. So by making it mudaf, you have that meaning of like mubalagha in there, like excessiveness. His, just like for example in the Quran, Allah says, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا. So the zilzalaha would be referring to the shaking that the earth can basically do. Right? So here, this is like the little, like the nuance that you need to be aware of if you want to be able to appreciate the translation properly. So kharaja ala qawmihi fi zinati, in his adornment. Qala, he said, alladhina, so those who, so not he said, it's like those is the file, isn't it? So those yuriduna, they want, right, the life of the world. So the ones that want the life of the world, actually hayat is life, isn't it? So the life, and ad-dunya, the close life, meaning this worldly life. So the ones who want the worldly life said, this is what they said. So they saw, they've seen Qarun, they've seen all of his richness and wealth and everything, and they've said, oh, now if it means oh people, then that's hidden, ayyuhan nas. But if you take it as tanbih, it means like attention. Attention, it's like you're just grabbing people's attention. Layta lana. So maybe they were screaming this, or maybe they kept on saying it. If only. Lana, for us. And belong to us. We had. Mithla. Mithla means similar to ma utiya Qarun. What? Of what Qarun had. So mithla ma utiya. So everything that he had, if only we had something similar to it. Like a replica of it, given to Qarun. Ma utiya Qarun. Innahu, indeed he is ladhu, is indeed, or definitely, indeed he is definitely ladhu, dhu hazzin, possessor, owner of great portion share. Now you can say luck as well. This guy's got so amazing luck. Look how lucky this guy is. This guy's got amazing stuff. I wish we had this. All right, so how do we understand this ayah then? So basically what happened was when Qarun was advised and he said, look, everything that you've been given has been given to you by Allah. وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ, and be kind to people like Allah has been kind to you. وَلَا تَبْغِ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَسَادًا, and don't cause mischief. Allah doesn't like those, Allah doesn't like people who are mujrimun. So anyway, he now hears this, so he comes out deliberately. He's come out just to kind of wind people up, just to annoy people and make them jealous, right? And to kind of make a statement. So he comes out and he gets all of his men, all of his armory, all of his wealth, everything he gets out, right? He comes out publicly, and everyone's watching his parade, or everyone's watching. So those people, there were certain people who loved the worldly life, who were very attached to it, and who were very distant from like connection with Allah. And they began chanting, or they began saying these kind of things. If only we had what Qarun had. They were really influenced and affected by him. If only we had this, like celebrities, you know, you see celebrities today and you say things like, oh, if only I had this kind of car, this lifestyle, or this kind of a house, or I lived in this country, or, you know, this guy's so lucky. This is what they were saying. Okay, anyway, so as I said, the translations here, just to be just a reminder that kharaja ala qawmihi, if you make ala muta'alliq to kharaja, he came out upon the people, and kharaja ala qawmihi, if you make it the meaning of like he came out and he was boasting over the people as though he is better than, superior to them. Fi zinati, again, it could be hal, he came out whilst he was in all of his galore and glamour and whatever. Or it could be fi zinati, kharaja fi zinati, he came out in his zina, to brought out his zina. Okay. Alright guys, so I hope you guys benefit from this. Let's look at what we're going to do next time. Have a go at this, inshallah ta'ala. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وقال الذين أوتوا العلم ويلكم ثواب الله خير لمن آمن وعمل صالحا ولا يلقاها إلا الصابرون. فخسفنا به وبداره الأرض فما كان له من فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان من المنتصرين. Jazakallah khair guys for watching this video. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, it really helps my channel, and subscribe, share it with your friends and family. Check out the other videos that I make as well, and any suggestions, put in the comments. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakumullah khair guys for all of your support. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to produce the videos that I've put up on my YouTube channel. And there is so much more that I really want to do. And without the support of you guys who are patrons, generously supporting this channel, I've been able to get myself a camera, which as you... Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope to see all of you guys. If you guys are interested, please leave us feedback, get in contact with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You guys can see the quality of this camera, mic system, software. I've been able to hire an editor. So what do I want to do? I want to make lots and lots and lots of more videos for beginners, for intermediate, advanced in the subjects like Arabic and fiqh and hadith and tafsir and aqidah and all those other things as well. And for this to happen, again, this channel needs support. So if you guys want to become patrons and support this channel, then check out the link below. Also, if you do become patrons, you'll have access to videos that I don't put up on my normal YouTube channel. So check that out, inshallah. And there's most other perks as well that you guys can benefit from. And if you want to access this channel through social media, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, Facebook page, and other things as well that you can visit. So Jazakumullah khair again guys. Thank you very much for your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.